elegance is very sexy, don't you think? Who is this, by the way? Welcome, traders, to the Indicator Profile Series Thursday edition. A day late on my end, and we are profiling the Elegant Oscillator today. Must be a good one, right? Let's go ahead and get into things. If you're new, though, enjoy. This is the #1 indicator channel in all of YouTube. Always was, always will be. But a lot of good it's going to do you if you don't understand what we're talking about. So what you need to do is go here. NoNonsenseForex.com, read the first page, watch the first video, get yourself started, get yourself caught up. For the rest of us, though, let's go ahead and get into the specs of the Elegant Oscillator. The year is going to be 2022 with an asterisk because this is another one of those indicators, and I'm sure we've done these before, and I forgot to put the asterisks up, but for anybody who cares, this one's been around a little while, but it was coded for us in MT4 in 2022. The type is going to be a confirmation indicator. We are profiling another zero cross this week, and for zero crosses, I don't like them as exits typically, but we will talk about a modification you can make to these, something I probably should have mentioned before. Even though I did mention it before, I'm going to mention it again in this video. So stick around for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. It is a zero cross. How about that? As always, when the line crosses and closes above the zero line, that is your signal to go long. And when it does the opposite, that is your signal to go short. Pretty darn easy. In this week's blog, which you all need to see, you're going to notice that what Dan does is something that I have told you all to do back in the day. And that is, you have these zero crosses, but it's always lines that kind of look like this, right? If you just take the zero line off and add a moving average to this, you can make it a totally different indicator. And now you have opened up a whole new world of possibilities. And you're like, well, I wish I knew that before. Well, you should have a boatload of indicators in your own personal library right now that you can go do this to. And like we always say, it only matters how it tests out in your system, and you might find that you can get a few percentage points higher here or there by doing something like this. Now, we did that with this indicator this week, but it turns out we actually like the zero cross version better. But just a reminder to those of you out here, who don't mind putting in the work. But let's go ahead and see how this one tested out. Now, before we do that, no, like I said earlier, it all matters how it does in your system. Some of you guys get too excited when these things get really high, and some of you guys get too poopy when these things are low. Not the way. Test them in your system anyway. I know some of them are very quick to test. I know some of them take longer. But what is an extra percentage point worth to you? In the grand scheme of things, in your entire trading career, what would that end up being? $10,000? $100,000? More? I mean, the stuff adds up. It's worth testing now. Now, you might be saying, well, VP, I don't know how to test. That's fine. We're going to show you down below in the links. I have a link to my automation blog that has an embedded video showing you how to test this yourself on the MT4 strategy tester. Remember, all of these indicators are MT4. You may be able to find MT5 and TradingView versions by running a simple Google search, but we cannot guarantee this. As always, we have the blog that shows you the tweak settings that we don't show you here, and all the information this week you're going to find on adding a moving average, things like that. Always a good resource. Another good resource is Dan's YouTube channel. Dan Stone from Stonehill Forex always has a supplemental video to the one you're seeing right now. So if you want to go here right after you go there, that's what a lot of people do. You get to see the indicator move in real time, maybe a little bit of information that I don't show you, things like that. And if you ever want to submit an indicator for profiling, we have an email address where you send that to. My comment section is not the place for that. And then, as always, the most popular place on all the interwebs is the indicator library, where you can download the Elegant Oscillator and every indicator and oscillator we have profiled here on the Indicator Profile series. Moving on to the results. Let's start with Forex, EURUSD, and look at that. She's a beauty. I told you. I mean, 4 hour alone would be really nice, but the daily, holy crap. Little bit on the slower side, possibly good for traders who want to go slower or who are looking for a secondary confirmation indicator. Incredible win-loss ratio, and for EURUSD, that is something special. So we are off to a great start. Let's see what this thing can do for gold. Now, gold's going to be pretty mediocre here on the daily, not good on the 4 hour. I would trash it there. But Kind of like what we've been saying with Bitcoin, how it's been moving really, really well, and we should expect heightened results there. Gold is doing something gold doesn't often do, and it is ranging, and it's what I call long chop. It's the one scenario that really, really wrecks no-nonsense Forex traders, and thankfully we don't encounter it too often, but we are encountering it now with gold. So the fact that this thing can still crank out an ROI like this, I find to be pretty good. Gold traders may still want to really test this one and give it a serious look. It's just a sign of the times. Now, S&P 500, we're going to see better results here. That's really nice for the S&P 500 for one indicator, for your confirmation indicator, possibly your secondary. That's great. Even better on the 4-hour. If you guys remember, we had a nice little run there with 4-hour S&P traders, all three of you, and we might be back. I don't know. That's some really, really nice results there. Now, over to Bitcoin. Remember, I told you these things might be higher than they normally would be, but not today. Can't really explain it. We had such high results last week, but just not this time around. Pretty good on the 4-hour, honestly, but good win-loss ratio too. Just the ROI just wasn't there this week on Bitcoin. That's just how it is sometimes. But Forex alone is worth the price of billing on this one. So check it out and check us out every week. We have the Trading Psychology Podcast every other Monday, Indicator Profile Series every Wednesday, usually, sometimes Thursday, blog sometimes on Thursdays. I don't think we're going to get to one today, but check that out next week. And then the 10-Minute Contrarian Investing Podcast every Saturday. It's all things finance, ladies and gentlemen. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and go get it.